One thing that I love so much about this culture is just how it encourages you to embrace the fact that you're imperfect. I'm just kidding, I don't love that at all actually. I think it's horrible that in our culture, you're constantly told that you're not beautiful enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not this enough or that enough, or you're not wealthy enough, or you're not poor enough, or who knows, but no matter what, you're not good enough. And the thing about our culture is that it's always gonna tell you that. It's always gonna tell you that you're not good enough. You're never gonna have the nicest TV. You're never gonna have the nicest car. You're never gonna have the nicest ring. You're never gonna have the nicest watch. You're never gonna have the nicest shoes. And the reason why is because they're always making one better. So as soon as you have the best, you're immediately not good enough. And so what I seek to tell people every single day is, what if you are just perfect the way you are? And so today's question is this: what if you are perfectly made? And it's so important to ask yourself that question, because then all of a sudden, the way you look at yourself and the way you think about yourself and the self-esteem, all that stuff could just change in an instant if you would just embrace who you are as someone who is perfectly made. Check out this scripture. This is Genesis chapter 1, and this is verse 31. It says this: "Then God looked over all he had made, and he saw that it was excellent in every way." In other versions it says that he just saw that it was good. Now, God's standard of what is good and excellent is obviously way greater than ours. And because God is a perfect God, and he is a perfect God, he would only create perfection, because anything less than perfect is not good enough for him. And so the simple fact that you look and act and think and talk the way that you do is, from God's perspective, a perfect design. If you were not a perfect design, you would not be here. He only makes perfection. And so I just want you to hear me. I see someone who their back is crooked, or they have a lump on their shoulder, or their face is not what everyone wishes it would be, or what they wish it would be. And you struggle so deeply with the way that you were made, and you even have anger towards God for it. But guess what? In his eyes, you are the most beautiful thing walking on the planet. And what he desires is that you walk in that truth. Stop listening to what the culture says about you. Stop listening to what the people say about who you are, and just start listening to who God says you are. And God says that you are perfectly made. Embrace that. Fall in love with that. Fall in love with the identity that you are perfectly made. And so I'll ask it again. What if you are perfectly made?